Hey, welcome back, folks. Happy Saturday. A couple things I wanted to mention. I've got a topic I want to talk about here today in regards to family investing on their behalf. This came up on Discord, so I thought it'd be good to share with everybody. Maybe you're in the same situation or you've thought about it or whatever. I also want to make a note. I took down a video I put up yesterday. It dealt with essentially short-term trading of the trusts and basically to increase your shares. And somebody pointed out, and thank you, I can't remember who did this, but they're like, this could potentially put you at in a good faith violation. And what that, I've only gotten one of these like years ago. I don't even remember what I was doing. But I was like, I got noticed like this is a good faith violation. And apparently, I could be wrong on this, but I think it has to do with like if you sell a security, buy another one, and then you sell that other security that you just bought in a short manner of time, like before funds are settled, you can get a good faith violation. And in those situations, that they could limit your trading. So I don't want anybody to do that. I'm not gonna do that. So this is off the table for me. I would not recommend anybody do this. I think it's only for longer term plays, like swing trading, which I'll probably try next crypto cycle. Hopefully, they say you learn something new basically every crypto cycle, and it's true for me. Like looking back, and for all of us, but looking back, like back end of March, I should have sold off a good portion of my crypto in my IRA, not my taxable account, because I'm looking for long-term cap gains rates on my taxable accounts. But on my IRA, where it's basically I don't have any penalty, I would probably sell off a good chunk of shares. In that situation, you do run the risk, though, that if the trusts still continue to run, then you're going to be kicking yourself. But I'll try it, at least for the portion of my shares next year or next cycle, if I remember. Hopefully, I will remember to do that. Anyway, so it came up on Discord, a topic today. It's like, should you invest on behalf of your family? Like if your family gives you some money to invest, should you do it? Is it a wise decision with Grayscale? And this particular individual, his dad had given him some money to invest and got scared after we saw the pullbacks in like April, and basically told his son, like, this isn't a good idea. I don't think the gains that you're expecting out of this trust, this investment, are realistic. And this is a good example of like, it's really hard. Like when I've tried to talk to people, like in my family circle, friend circle, about investing, and a lot of them don't want to do it because they don't know crypto, or they think it's too volatile, or they just don't believe in the results, like the outcome. They don't believe that you can get a 10x or even a 5x return on your money in any asset. And the fact that you believe that you could get a 5x or better return in an asset, they just think it's a scam, a Ponzi scheme. It's not going to work, all that kind of stuff, that you're taking too much risk and you shouldn't be doing that. And this is like, I understand that mentality totally, but it's like, this is why, if you look at, and there are videos and articles about this stuff, like the average 401k balances, average savings, and average IRA balances in the United States of America are pathetically small. Okay, it's because people aren't willing to take a risk. Well, two reasons, right? One, a lot of people don't save very much or invest very much, right? And they aren't willing to get into those assets that have bigger returns, like crypto. They won't touch it, and so that's one of the reasons. It's like I probably most of you, not all of you, but most of you are going to have profits that exceed the average balances of IRAs, 401ks, and savings in the United States of America. Obviously, if you just invested $500 or $1,000, I don't know when you did that, but your returns aren't probably going to be that great. But still, it's like, that the median values of like a 401k, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I think it's like, even for people like around the age of 60, is like 60 grand or 65 grand, something like that. And that is very scary. That is very low. And it's like, how the hell do you face retirement having a 401k or IRA that's like 60 grand? That would scare the shit out of me. I mean, you really have to be living off of Social Security and barely getting by, just a little bit above that, in order to make it work. And you have no idea what's going to come up in your golden years. This is like the retirement crisis is a whole separate topic, but yeah, it is. So anyway, but the older generations, like especially the older generations, they would not believe in the kind of returns in crypto. Like if I told my parents about the kind of returns I could get, they would think I was crazy. They actually don't even invest. They're super old school. They're in their early 70s. Basically, their thing is they just park cash in the bank. And that's their savings. That's their retirement in addition to Social Security, because they never learned about investing, never took a risk and all that kind of stuff. So something like crypto would be extremely tough for them to swallow. Like from a couple things. One, it's like the risk, because if they looked at the price chart, they would see it crash and they would say this is risky. But two, they would never believe the returns because they've had to work all their life. And making money isn't easy. That's the mentality that most people are in. Like, it's not easy to get wealthy. It's not easy to get rich. It's not easy to build up a secure retirement nest egg. When in fact, it's actually not that hard if you just invest in the right things. But most people don't know about it. Most people are unaware. So my parents aren't investing, but I want them to have some cash. So I could go two routes. I could either try to convince them to invest, and get them to go along for the ride, which I don't know that they have the stomach for it. They might. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking they probably won't. They wouldn't probably believe the potential outcome that we could have, even a 5x, and not even talking like a 50x, like a 5x return. They would find it hard to believe. So what I'm going to do with my parents, because I want to give them some money. It's like they're early 70s, don't have a retirement, just have some cash parked in the bank. And it's like, okay, well, I want to give them some more money. So what I'll do with some of my profits is give them money, right? And it'll be over the $17,000 gift limit or whatever the gift limit is. So I'll have to pay gift tax, which is a fucking scam. So here's how it works. So it's like, let's say I want to give my parents let's just say $1 million, right? So in order to make that on long-term capital gains, I basically have to have a cash out of 1.5 million, right? Because I'm paying long-term cap gains like a 30% or something. So you end up with $1 million. But if I give $1 million to them, the IRS is going to tell me I got to pay 40% gift tax on the amount I give. So I have to come up with another $400,000. Well, in order to come up with another $400,000, I essentially needed to have cash out of $600,000 at long-term cap gains rates in order to get $400,000. So it's it costs more. But I'm just fuck it. My parents are getting old. They're not going to be around here probably, maybe for the next cycle. Hopefully they will. I don't know. And I was like, well, I want to give them a substantial amount of money that they've never had access to in their life. So you can, whatever you give, family or friends or whatever, be careful about giving money to friends, I guess, which probably should be a topic of another video. But if you want to give some of the family, just realize if you're over that gift limit, you're gonna have to pay gift tax, and you got to report that when you file your taxes. So just be aware of that. I think it's a complete scam, because I think if you've already been taxed on it, you should be able to do whatever you want with your money. If I were to not give that money to my parents, but if I were to go out and buy a home or an island or whatever, I wouldn't pay a 40% gift tax. But because I'm giving it to somebody, they want to charge me a 40% gift tax. The whole system is rigged against people, because there should be no penalty. In my eyes, I should be able to give my son, my parents, whoever, any amount I want if I've already paid taxes, because I can spend whatever I want on a house, on cars, on food, entertainment, travel, whatever. No, the government doesn't come and say, well, you gotta pay extra tax because that money is going to somebody other than yourself. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I've covered a couple things here, but I've kind of given up on trying to convince people to invest, because most people look at me like I'm crazy. They would never have the stomach for the crypto pump and dumps that we have as part of the normal crypto cycle. They would freak out. They would be super happy with the run up that we had in March, and they would absolutely freak out with the drop that we saw in April, you know, and they couldn't handle it, and they'd want to get out, you know, and they'd say this wasn't a good investment because they've been programmed by somebody to believe that investments should just go up, and that's all they should do. They should not go down. They should just go up. And this is, I've said this before, if you want great reward, you have to be willing to take great risk. And that's what this is. Not that I consider a crypto or Grayscale to be very risky. It's just my risk tolerance. I don't see it that way. But it is for a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to get in there for whatever reason. And it's just the way it is, you know. So you guys, we're all going to be really happy, like, after the bull run, regardless of what happens. Maybe not regardless of what happens. If the government bans crypto before the bull run, we're screwed. But whatever kind of returns we get, we'll still be happy because it's still going to be better than index funds, growth stocks, index or high yield ETFs. So it's still better. And you can rotate, like I said, into anything that you want to continue to grow your wealth afterwards, if for whatever you're not gonna spend on yourself or whatever. So anyway, that's it. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I said I probably wasn't gonna do videos this weekend, and here it is on a Saturday, and I'm doing a video. So I guess whenever I say that, it's basically a clue that I probably will end up doing a video or two. I don't think I'll do one tomorrow, which means I probably will. So I'll see you guys soon. You guys take care.